4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And lift off of Starlink 2-4. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds, successful liftoff of Falcon 9 from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg at 7:43 a.m. Pacific time. We had some fantastic views from the ground, and now we're looking at a great view
Nominal power
from
and
the
telemetry.
first stage's onboard camera as we pop through the cloud layer.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Now we're traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
And there we are through the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's the highest stresses that we'll feel during the flight. Now we are about 1 minute away from several events back to back. The first of those will be MECO, that's main engine cutoff.
Engine chill has started.
Followed by a stage separation, and then SES-1 and fairing separation. So MECO is where we shut down all 9 of the Merlin engines in preparation for separating the stages at stage sep. And then at second engine start number 1, we'll ignite the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. Shortly after that, we will separate the fairing halves and return them to planet Earth while the second stage continues with our Starlink satellites to space. And those events back to back: MECO, stage separation, second engine start number 1, followed by fairing separation.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And with that, we had successful MECO stage separation. You can see the Merlin vacuum is ignited, and even saw the fairing half there in the shot. We're looking at a live view right now. On the left-hand side of your screen is Falcon 9's first stage. We've deployed the grid fins in preparation for re-entry. On the right-hand side of your screen is Falcon 9's second stage. That's a shot of the Merlin vacuum engine. Now, those 2 fairing halves, we will be attempting to recover them once they come back to planet Earth, and use them again on a future mission. First stage has deployed its grid fins. You can see 2 of them on your screen. Those periodic bursts of white gas you're seeing are from our attitude control system. We're reorienting the first stage to get the engines pointed down for its next major milestone, which will be the entry burn.
Both stages are following a nominal trajectory.
That call out, that means that both of the stages, the first and second stages, are on the intended flight paths. The first stage at this point is on a parabola headed back towards our drone ship, which again is stationed off the coast of Baja, California. The second stage, which is about a couple minutes into its burn, this burn lasting until about T plus 8 minutes and 40 seconds. It's carrying our Starlink satellites to orbit. Today's Starlink mission marks 204th mission for SpaceX overall and our 5th mission for this year. As a reminder, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed and low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe.
Both stages are still on a nominal trajectory.
You might have noticed that the first stage's altitude is decreasing. That makes sense because it's heading back towards our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. The first stage's next major milestone is coming up in about 20 seconds. That'll be the entry burn, where it'll light 3 of its Merlin 1D engines to slow down for atmospheric re-entry.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
There is successful ignition of those 3 Merlin engines, this burn lasting about 20 seconds.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
Successful shutdown of those Merlin engines. Next major event on the first stage.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
The landing burn start, just after T+8 minutes.
Stage 1, transonic.
With that, that means the first stage is traveling near the speed of sound. We've got a few events coming up back to back here. First will be the landing burn on the first stage. That burn will continue until the first stage lands. During the landing burn, we'll also hear a call out for second engine cutoff number 1, or SECO 1, on the second stage.
Terminal guidance.
Stage 1, landing burn.
Started a single Merlin engine on the first stage. We'll expect to see the landing legs deploy shortly.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy. Stage 1, landing confirmed.
Back shutdown.
Successful landing of Falcon 9's first stage. You also heard a call out there for MVAC shutdown. Now, this landing marks our 166th overall landing of an orbital class rocket that includes both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy
Nominal
missions.
orbit insertion.
With that call out from the guidance team, the second stage is in the nominal or intended orbit. The second stage is carrying our 51 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. And with that, we are going to bring our webcast coverage to a close for today. Now, if you're interested in following along with our mission, we're going to keep our nets live on YouTube. And of course, you can check out our social media platforms for confirmation of Starlink deploy. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you for another launch soon.